Hey, what's up guys, it's On here. We've got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of changes, big and small, to go over. So let's make this quick. First up, we're getting a brand new assault rifle from Modern Warfare 2019, the Odin. It's slow, but it has the potential to two-tap across the map. It's also getting a mythic blueprint, so there's a good chance that it'll be meta. And people will spend hundreds of dollars for it. If it's true that the arm multipliers are getting adjusted to guarantee a 4-shot kill to the secondary range, which might also be buffed, then there's a real possibility that the AK-117 will once again be meta for the first time since launch. The Peacekeeper has always been a top 5 or top 7 AR, but some people don't like it because it has a circular iron sight that shakes, low ammo, and an awkward recoil. The recoil was buffed earlier this year, and now it's getting more ammo. Plus, if the range buff states that it doesn't include the rapid fire barrel, then does that include the task force barrel then? I don't know man, task force is already pretty good. The Type 25 is having some of its previous nerfs scaled back. Will it be meta again? Probably not, but maybe just barely not so. Giving the KN-44 a buff to its bloom is a bit redundant, given that it's one of the most accurate weapons in the game already. Although a range buff is much appreciated. I just hope that they don't go crazy with the headshot damage. A similar weapon is also receiving similar buffs. The LK-24 is already a pretty good mid-range weapon, and buffing its bloom and taper would not be redundant because those were already average, unlike the KN. They're most likely extending the chest multiplier to include the arms, which shouldn't affect time to kill, but I'm not sure how much they plan on buffing damage. Again, like the KN, buffing the bloom on the M13 is a bit redundant. But the mobility getting a slight increase, that was its only slight drawback. Faster mobility is nice, but the HVK definitely needed better accuracy. Like the HVK, the HBR also stands to benefit from better accuracy. I previously stated that the Thunderbolt Sling wasn't good, but if it'll increase your hipfire from now on, then it might be worth using. The FR556 already has good bloom, but I hope they do something about the awkward damage drop-off, where it jumps from 4-shot kill to 6. The DRH definitely needed a buff to its bloom. The same goes for the AK-47. In fact, most of the ARs are getting a buff to its bloom, except for the BK and Peacekeeper. The Swordfish, M16, and Kilo 1-for-1, they don't really need it because they're already at the top when it comes to accuracy. The EBR and SVD are receiving a slight strafing buff. A lot of hype is surrounding the RPD, mostly regarding the new barrel, but I've got my eyes on the headshot multiplier, which will decrease your time to kill with a single headshot, thus making it a potential 3-shot weapon. As for the barrel, if you've played Black Ops 4, then it'll play exactly like the operator mod for the Cordite. Which begs the question, why isn't the Cordite getting it instead? On top of receiving a range buff, the crossbar attachment, which used to be a operator mod for the Hades by the way, will now improve your hipfire. Personally, I think it could use a little bit more mobility, but not to the extent of the reputation that it has in Black Ops 4. As for the rest of the LMGs, except for the S36, they're all receiving buffs to their bloom. The GKS plays very similar to the pre-buff ICR, and I was very disappointed when the devs nerfed its accuracy last year. So I'm holding out for hope that they do it justice this time around, and not go overboard. The MAC-10 is receiving a nerf to its damage. By how much? We're not sure. It's also receiving a nerf to its strafing stocks. The QQ9 is getting a boost to its bloom, while also receiving slight nerfs to its mobility attachments. Not a bad trade though. I once said that the QXR could use a accuracy buff, so this is appreciated. Same goes for the Pharaoh. The RUS is one of the most accurate weapons in the game. I'm hoping that it's only just a slight nerf. The Fennec, Papa Shah, and MX9 are receiving specific nerfs to certain attachments that boost its strafing. Some used more than others. This one's a bit strange because the Renetti already has good potential when it comes to one bursting, but only being held back by its recoil. Something that a lot of us have been waiting for since launch, persistence is finally getting a nerf. It's now a blue perk, which means that you can't combine it with hardline anymore, which gives you extra points. Thus, it also puts restrictions on what kind of score streak combinations you could use. Although this can be exploited by switching your loadout early inside the game. In addition, these score streaks are getting rebalanced, either by making them last shorter, making them more expensive, or both. EMP being cheaper is much appreciated. So after all that's said and done, what are the takeaways? Well, score streaks are going to be less annoying. At least they should be. Overall, we might start seeing a trend towards a slower-paced AR-focused meta, kinda like how it was towards the latter half of 2020. Although keep in mind, some of the top weapons like the Kilo 1-for-1, M13 and CBR4 aren't getting nerfed. At least not yet. And well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Odin was overpowered because you know Activision wants that mythic money. Anyway, yeah, that's been a casual script guide. My name is On, and I'm off.